morning, everyone. It is May 17th, 2025. Right now it is 5:24 a.m. Central Time. It's 6 minutes before the hour and 6 minutes to the bottom of the hour, I should say, and 6 minutes before FP3 gets going. Welcome to Racing Sixes channel. This is Grash here covering the action that's going to happen. Looking at what's going on, you guys saying at the moment. You guys can hear me. Cool. I think Mikey Dark, Paul is around, Shay's around, Andrew's around. I'm calling out people who are in green. These are the people who have joined the YouTube channel. Looking at what you guys are saying at the moment. I want to thank everyone over in Twitch chat as well. We've got a good size of people over there as well. Shay's not here. Okay, that's cool. I'm glad that they are okay. Again, the big thing yesterday coming out of the practices is that at the very end of each practice we had a crash. Um, we had Bordello crashing, and it was just basically nose damage effectively, and that was repaired, and he was back out for FP2. The end of FP2 though, Isaac basically lost control of his car, went around, did a full rotation, did another half rotation, so that's like a 540 right there. Bounced off the wall, and it didn't look like he took damage. And that's one of the things we're going to take a look at is where it should have been okay. The problem is that he went across the gravel trap, get back to the track, and had to wait at the edge of the track, waiting for traffic to go by. So basically, he was waiting to do a safe release. Sorry, it's not a safe release, a safe return to track. And that's where he got in trouble. His back tires were in the gravel trap and got stuck there. And that brought up the red flag. So I've had two red flags in a row right now. If we get another red flag, I think the return of the counter might be in due. So again, this is round 7 is Imola. Again, one of the other big stories was that yesterday was the first real running of that C6 compound. It's a new compound that's softer than we've known the C1 through C5 for the last year or so, and the C5 has been our softest compound. Well, now they've got another step softer compound for tracks like Imola. I believe it will be used in Monaco as well, if I'm on my understanding. But this is the first time teams had running with that C6 compound. They had access to it in preseason testing, but no one opted to use it. Moving on, basically C6 is our soft compound. What we normally have known as our soft compound C5 is our mediums this weekend, and then our hards are the C4 compound. That's crazy to say as we look at it. 22 degrees Celsius. 40 track temperature is 45 degrees, so it's a moderate temperature. It's the humidity is 20. It's saying it's high, 28, 21. We've got 31 degrees on our chart here. Um, Nowhere near the 50%, 40, 50, 60% we're seeing in we saw in Miami. Yes, this is what happens when you're not on the coast and you're up in the hills. Moving on. It's not extreme hot, but it's just hot enough to play with how long are those softs going to last type scenario. And then moving on right now, it's another beautiful day in Imola. There's no expectation of rain in FP3 at this point. Looking right now. Well, actually, I'm sorry, I'm new here. Oh, welcome, welcome. Will there be cameras? No, you're not going to see cameras. Like, you're not going to see anything like on track or audio from like F1 TV or what would be on Sky Sports or wherever you would be watching from. And that's mostly because the purpose of this stream is to be a watch along. So essentially, we're like your friend on the couch with you. A couple of comments about tire water. So basically, a lot of people thought that McLaren was like throwing water into the tires, and that made no sense because if that heated up, that means you got a new level of pressure in the tire that you couldn't really control, and that didn't make any sense. Um, and so Jack Brown got bottles of water labeled tire water to troll the other teams, basically, which is the best level of trolling. Red Bull, for example, has multiple styles of cans, which I swear that they have just to troll other teams. Like yesterday, I had their purple can, which is basically looks like the Alpine car. That was the white peach. They have a Ferrari, a red watermelon, Red Bull tasting drink that looks like the Ferrari. And they've used it, and Red Bull's trolled when I think 2 years ago when there was accusations that um, we're about to go green. We just did right now. Uh, anyone else out? Oh, they just sent Lando out, so he might be the first one out if anyone gets out in front of him. Yeah, the green can, the green when there were accusations of Aston Martin copying the Red Bull car, Red Bull came out one day with green Red Bull cans to make fun of them. We have just gone green for FP1. This is why we're catching up live, which is why we're getting a refresh here. Lando Norris is the only one coming out right now. He might be doing a practice start at the end of pit lane. Again, we are into the first minute of this session at the moment. Lando's out on a hard tire, so it looks like our map is not updating at the moment. So just give us a moment to let things update on its own. I know the multi-viewer portion, the timing is updated already. Yeah, full purple for Norris right now, and it looks like he's coming back right back into the pit. So they just did an installation lap. That's what to see. I'm not sure where this map graphic is coming from. That the boss can put in the chat where he's getting the map graphic for this. Our timing chart is being driven by multi-viewer, and it's where we're also getting the radio transcription from as well. Is that there's a feature in multi-viewer for that as well. Multi-viewer is very nice. They have versions. There's version of the application where, like, if you're a NASCAR fan or any car fan, there's versions of the application or parts of the application, say, that can support those races if you want to look at that as well. Uh, yeah, Max is not even in his car. Who is Pierre Gasly is getting his helmet on at the moment. So this is um I'm I'm not surprised. I've seen this multiple times where teams are like, yeah, FP3, we'll just take our time. Oscar's out of his car, doesn't even have, both Oscar and Max don't even have their helmets on. So this is going to be a odd scenario where teams are just taking their sweet time. Ollie Behrman's not even ready to go. He's putting on his suit at the moment. I don't even see where Sonoda is. Nope, Sonoda's out of his car. He's just talking with engineers. He doesn't even have his helmet on. Yeah, so I don't know what to tell you guys. No one's like really ready for FP3. We had Lando do an installation lap. Charles is in his car. He's ready to go, but they're not going to send him out. SD Besty's not even in. Is he even in his suit? He's got a baseball cap on. He's not even ready to go. Putting in his earpieces. So it's gonna be like another like 5 minutes. A lot of these guys, 5 minutes easily before they're even gonna go out. Well, let's talk about some of the news. Some of the things what people said. Yeah, going in this weekend, the biggest story was Alpine because it's just chaos. I think Stroll's coming out of the pits. He's coming out on hard tires. So he at least this is expected probably to be an installation lap. Alpine, not Alpine, Mastermind likes to send their cars out on a hard tire for one lap to scrub them. There's a belief that if you go send no, the problem, we fixed the map. The problem is that there was no one out went out on was out on track for like last 3 minutes at least. Um we can see that it's not working. Stroll and Alonso are on track, both on hard tires. So the idea here is that they're sending them out on the hard tires to scrub the shine on them, basically. And I wouldn't be surprised to see both of those come right back into the pits. I believe that's Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc is coming out now. When does it start? It started 7 minutes ago. They just sent cars out for the first time now. Hamilton's coming out on medium tire, apparently. So here we come. Stroll's taking his sweet time going around. Yeah, basically Stroll doing well in 2025. Yeah, he's actually doing particularly well. He's been more consistent and more reliable. And again, Stroll has come right has done an installation lap and he's come right back in. Um, Alonso's coming around to turn 17, 18 at the moment as the back two corners before 19, which brings you to the start finish line. And Alonso's going to pit. Hulkenberg is out on a soft tire. So as predicted, Aston Martin has come into the pits. Yeah, Hamilton P1 by being the king of the outlaps right now. So Hamilton's actually going to go around. Hamilton's actually probably going to set a time, and Hulkenberg's coming around, and he's probably going to set. He's going to set an actual time, a lap they'll have an actual time, as long as they don't abandon the lap and come in. So So Hamilton right now on a medium tire, Hulkenberg on a soft tire. Obviously, Hamilton's going to set a fastest first sector. He's going to have a full purple lap by virtue of being the first on that tire, on first to do a proper flying lap. Coming around to turn 14 and 15 right now. Hulkenberg hitting turn 15. Hamilton is getting to 17 and 18. Hamilton's going to come to the line. He's going to set a 116.983. That's actually not bad. That's not bad. Hulkenberg's going to come. He's going to be P2. He's going to do a 1. There's a 118.005. He's a whole second off. Hamilton did a 116.983 specifically, which is high for the 116s, but not. It's a respectable lap. Bortolotto coming out now. The stick driver is coming out on soft pair of tires. Lawson's next to come out. So we've got 4 drivers out on track. We've got 49 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in this session. Again, you're listening to the Racistic channel of FP3, and it's been again a thrilling FP3. They've got a shot of Isaac. They're basically waiting for basically getting him prepared. Colpino is coming out. He's gonna be on a soft tire. Drag Mayo calling for Bortolotto to be sacked. Why? Because other teams are because they expect Stake to be stupid and impatient and be Alpine and Red Bull to change drivers. In multiple in yeah, there's like yeah, they're expecting the other teams to be just as impatient. Connie pointing out that this is Kimmy's home race. What can he do in his home race? He should do well. Um, I expect him to do what he's been doing already this season and do well. If one team is going back to a lap time analysis between Gasly and Oscar, and it's basically like identical lap between those two. Audi expected to win the whole thing next year. No, Audi has a lot of work to get into contention next year. Hamilton is pitted. Bortolotto has come around and done his lap. Hulkenberg is pitted. With Gasly, Hamilton's coming back on track. Quick picks up. Lawson about to finish a lap. He's going to go P3 with that lap, 117. So he's 0.354 behind Hamilton. Colpino is on a flying lap right now. He's in the back half of his run. right now the only one on a flying lap. Gasly's on a out lap. Hamilton's on a new out lap. Barlow, Lawson on cool down laps. He's going to Colapino. He's going to finish his lap. He's going to P2. He's 0.220 behind Hamilton. He had the fastest first sector. So take that as you may right now. It is early. There's 46 minutes left to go in this session, and we've only had 9 cars on track at the most. 3 of them did installation laps, and Gasly's doing his first lap now. Agnes saying to Dark that they will be supporting Audi and Mercedes next year and stop supporting Ferrari. That's interesting. Unless the 2026 regulations end up hurting them. Udong is pointing out Paul Aaron is watching. He's one of the reserve drivers for Alpine. So we'll come to Silverstone. That's the 5th race in this series for Colapino. That would be the 6th race, actually. They're going to make another decision at that point about who they're going to keep in the car. We could see Paul Aaron in the car this year. But he's asking, do you think they're going to be a Ferrari 1-2 or a McLaren win again? Gasly just finished his lap time. He's just gone to the top of the board, 116.679 soft tire, fastest 3rd sector on that lap. Hansi asking who would be in the Cadillac and the Audi next year. Well, Audi's easy. It's going to be Mortello and Hulkenberg. That we know that. They're not going to abandon the rookie like other teams are going to do. And they've signed Hulkenberg for a multi-year deal. So we know what Audi's going to look like next year. For Cadillac, it's still interesting. Last thing I've heard is that I know Checo is in contention for that seat, that first seat. So with Cadillac, we know that the plan that they've been talking about is they're going to bring in someone who's experienced with F1, and then they're going to bring in someone who is new, particularly an American. Going to bring a new American to the grid with their second seat. Zoe won't go to Cadillac. He's likely going to stay for. Yeah, Zoe's not in contention for that seat. Valtteri Bottas is in contention for that first seat. Zoe isn't fast, but he's got money. But yeah, but he's not. Like Checo basically is. Yeah, so Checo basically fits the bill for that experienced driver. Also being being Mexican, that actually has a lot of pull particularly in the southern portion of the United States. Logan Sargent, no, Logan Sargent is not going to be considered for that. Bierman just took Clark just finished his lap, and Bierman just finished a lap. We got a lot more people coming out now. Isaac is out on track now. Norris is coming back out. Stroll is back out. Isaac just set a P5 lap on a medium tire. He's 1.75, sorry, 1.075 behind Hamilton's lap. Hamilton's been on a cool down lap, and he's going to pit. Loss is about to set a new lap time. He's going to go P3 with a 1:16.076. Oscar just finished his outlap. Max is on track. He's about to finish his outlap. Or if somebody used it's Brandon Herman is on track, everyone. If you don't know, last weekend when we didn't have a race in F1, Max went to the Nürburgring to test GT3. He was there to support a driver that basically it's an iRacer driver that Max has pulled from the iRacing series into an actual car. So he was partly there to support him, but he also got in the car and did some laps as well. And the reports said he broke GT3 record at the Nürburgring when he was out there. Don't rule out something like award for that second seat. Yeah, so award would be even though he is a popular driver in IndyCar. That is a possibility. Actually, Oscar's now gone to the top of the board with 1:15.833. Hamilton did a 1:15.866. Verstappen now top of the board, 1:15.579. So a quarter second gap to Oscar, so it's 2.54 and 2.87 for Hamilton. Help me just marginally. Try to get a better setup at the moment. There we go. I can see that better. All right. Going back to award, he basically put something out on to social media to basically troll with people. He was talked about, but he actually has come back and said there's been no. He has said there's been no contact between him and Cadillac. Norris just went P2 on the board, 1:15.656. It's a 0.77 thousandths difference between Max and Norris's lap. He's going to pass the second and third sector on that lap. And they did these Max, Norris, Oscar, Hamilton all did a medium tire. Behrman coming out on soft tires right now, currently fifth. Tsunoda is on track. He is currently P6. He did a 1:16.572. He's second off of Max's time at the moment. Excuse me. So yeah, no, award basically trolled people about going to Cadillac, and then when he was basically asked about it by the IndyCar press, he was like, "No, there's been no content." But he had fun playing with it. We got 37 minutes to go and 50 seconds in this session. Award would be a good again in a theoretical world. Award would be a good then that second seat, someone who's new to F1. Um, most of the discussion is looking at that second seat is going to probably go to someone in the Andretti Motorsports family. So we're looking at Colton Herter is the one that keeps coming up. Alonso just went P7, 1:16.670. That's a 1.091 gap. So a tenth more than Tsunoda. Another person is Kyle Lawson is another person. Albon just went P7. Did a 1:16.646. So 1.067 gap. And Isaac has just gone top of the board, 115.508. That is 0.071 faster than Max. Clerk just got P2. He's 0.21 thousandths behind Isaac's lap. Isaac had a fastest first sector in that lap. So yeah, Isaac looking really good this weekend. We'll see how long this P1 lasts. And Denley just went 14th. Stroll just went 15th. But Stroll's on a hard tire. Russell on his first flying lap right now. He's the only one who's not set a time. Copino, Gasly, Lawson, Behrman, Hamilton are in the pits. Norris is coming out. Max is on a new out lap. So is Bordello and Hulkenberg. Oscar's improving in Sector 1, not in Sector 2. See how Sector 3 comes across. So Oscar improves in his time, does 115.753, doesn't improve his position. He's still P5. We got a gaggle of cars coming. Alonso, Borlo, Albon, and then we got Isaac, Sainz, Russell passing Sainz and Isaac on track. Might pass Albon as well on track before the line. And Russell finally does his first flying lap of the session, 116.124. Sainz pitting. Looks like Ocon is going to pit. Tsunoda going around. Looks like he's on a flying lap. Hulkenberg going on a flying lap. Looks like Norris is going on a flying lap. Leclerc and Antonelli both pitting. Max on a flying lap. Wow, he's been purple in Sector 1, Sector 2. He's going to be all green. Oh, purple. Yep, it's a complete purple lap for Max. Sector 1, Sector 2, Sector 3, purple for Max. Here's a 115.130. That bumps Isaac back 3.78. So more than a third of a second gain on Max on that lap. Excuse me. I've got allergies, a lot of grass in the ear right now where I'm at. Clerk coming out. And Hamilton coming out of the pits. Sainz coming out of the pits. Stoner jumps up to P7. He's 0.980 behind Max's lap. Yeah, that's a whole second. That's weird to see that Max is that Yuki is that far behind. Norris jumps up to P2. Fastest second sector. 139 behind Max. So 2/10 behind. So Isaac is about 2/10 behind Norris. Looking at right now, Albon having a good first sector. Improves in his time in that sector. 24.04 is that Sector 1 time. Keep an eye on Albon right now. He's the only one right now cooking at the moment. So now that we're in the middle of the session, teams are probably doing other programs at the moment rather than just a pure quality speed type program. A lot of medium tires. Let's see if there's anyone. Yeah, Colpino's out on soft tires still. Albon comes across P7, 116.1. Yeah, P1 through P4 is so there's like Norris is 1.3 behind Max, and then we jump up to 3 to 4 tenths for Isaac and Leclerc, third and fourth. Oscar is 6 tenths behind his teammate, almost 2/3. Sainz just jumped to seventh. Hamilton is 7.3. Sainz is 7.4. And then we can have another jump to almost a second with Albon at 9.72. And they're bunched up from P8 through P12. That's Albon through Alonso by 2 tenths. And then it jumps up again, 1.5, 1.6, 1.7, 1.9 to 18th. And then we've got Colapino and Hulkenberg above 2 seconds. So, yellow flag. Ooh, that's Lawson off the track. And he's going to regain. So Lawson has lost control of the car. He's gone off track, done a donut basically, and has come back on track. No damage to the car. He just went off track and has come back on. His tires look not good. Are they going to do a replay? What happened to him? Let me see what happened. Lawson hit curbs. Oh, yeah, Lawson hit a curb, did a full rotation. Yeah, just does a full rotation. He's okay, but he definitely has flat spots on his tires now from spinning around the way he did. He does a full rotation from one side of the track to the other. And then he goes off track and comes back on track. So a moment of yellow flag with spin, but nothing else. Max cooking again right now, fastest first sector, so we'll keep an eye on him. Or to Taco Lawson is trash. That's your opinion. Russell John off the P6. He's still. I throw him under the rookie category still because he hasn't had a full year in the car, a car at all. He's not a true rookie because he's basically had 2 years where he's been in the car multiple times. Replaced Daniel when he was injured 2 years ago. Then last year replaced Daniel for the last few races. And he only goes 13th. Anthony out Q2 with his pace. Yeah, but this would be this is we're looking at we're at seventh race, and it's the first one that he's going out in Q2. And nearly feeling the pressure of expectations at home race. Yeah, that's possibly what's going on at the moment. Max set a new fastest time, 1:15.079. Now he was out Q1 in Australia, was he? I have to go back and look at Q1 in Australia. Australia again was a wild race to begin with. So Paul pointing at the race record is 1:15.484, Hamilton 2020. Speaking of him, he's on track right now. So is his teammate Leclerc, Lawson Isaac, Antonelli Albert on track, though. Antonelli looks like he's going to come in the pit. Yeah, he does. And Albon's going to pit. Gasly was behind him as well. So only 5 people on track right now. I think there are no Italians watching the stream. There are a few, but there is. We know of another channel out there that is dedicated to the Italian fan base. Click on a long run. Very much so. He did his last lap was 1:18.482. Lost it right now on an out lap. To put on a new 2 sets of medium tires. It looks like. Can you say my name? No, because I can't pronounce it correctly. Alina feel something like that. My apologies. I've butchered your name. My apologies. Just going to pointing out that Williams' 0 major upgrades. Impressive how good it still is. So we're back on its green tractor phase. You guys are rough in chat today. Unknown thinks Max will win 100%. I think Herman might win 100%. No, I'm having way too much fun with the fans. Herman, fake name. Who's on a good long run right now? We expect Leclerc right now is on a long run. Hamilton might be on a long run. He just at 1:17.426. Stroll back on track right now. P16. He's on a hard tire. That's a good indication he's on a long run. He could be loaded down as well. Oh. Yeah, Borla is 2 seconds off the pace, and Hulkenberg is 2.3 off the pace, almost 2.4 off the pace. So Williams, there's an issue where the Williams came to the line and came out almost. No, there was an issue with the Williams and the Red Bull, the Racing Bull. So Isaac and Albon, I think. Albon was coming out of the pit, across the pit lane line, and Isaac was about to do a pit lane start, practice start. So, Park Champ, if Newey cooks, Stroll has a real chance next year. Alonso has a real chance next year. So let's be clear. Alonso's the number 1 driver in that team. And he is cooking. Last report is that Newey will be at Monaco. Now, if you were to pick a race to go to, obviously, Monaco is the one to go to. Now, Sykes just went P3, 1:15.4. 8.4 on a medium tire. Also about to come out of the pits, do a pit lane start. What was the yellow flag raised a little while ago? Lawson did a full rotation on track, went off track, then came, and that's because he did the rotation and went off track. That was why the yellow was flown. He eventually returned to the track, and that brought us back to green flag running. Yeah, so there was a little incident um, at the end of the pit lane with Isaac and one of the Williams. But I've seen nothing from the race control saying that they were going to investigate. Wouldn't be an unsafe release because he's already been released from the pits. So it's just more of a misunderstanding. No harm, no foul, basically. So people are commenting about the tire icons. When you see a hash through the tire, so Verstappen right now has a medium tire with that hash. That means he's on a used set of medium tires. Like right now, Alonso went out Alonso on a previous stint went out on a medium set of tires. I mean, a hard set of tires, and it was a new set of tires. Whereas Stroll right now is on a set of hard tires that have been used previously. Russell, for example, is on a set of soft tires. Doesn't have that hash. That means that he's been out on a new set of soft tires. Yeah, after this practice, I believe F2 sprint, the first sprint race is I know F3 is racing this weekend. F2 is racing this weekend. They have the Porsche Super Cup. So there's three other series that are racing this weekend beyond just F1. So this track is going to be very well rubbered in this weekend. Russell did. He did go off track by a little, just by a little bit. He abandoned the lap, came into the pits. Doing a replay of what happened with Russell. He went wide. He went wide. He didn't go off track, but he lost. Russell. The reason Russell abandoned his lap, he went over curbs over one side, went over to the other side. His left rear tire dipped into gravel. It's not that Russell lost control of the car; it's that he more backed off from a racing line, racing speed, when his tire dipped over the line into the gravel. No, no, the color is not pink. The color is red. The I don't know. Yeah, knock it off. Williams will be card cooking right. Yassine is saying at the moment. Science is on a fast lap. He's about to finish it. Albin just finished that lap. No, that was a ISO lap. Let me see. Williams and V carb. Science last lap was 120.15. Comes Max. Fastest first sector did improve. Kind of abandoned the lap. He does a 115.239, which is 2/10 off of his previous best. Oscar did a 132 in his last lap, though I expected that. It was abandoned. Hulkenberg jumps up to 14th with a 116.545. And Borrello just does a 116.292. We've got 15 minutes left to go in this session. Can you listen to the racing statistics? We're live on Twitch and YouTube. Okay, right now I'm trying to see who might be cooking at the moment. Right now, Norris has improved in his first sector. Did a 23.7 in that first sector. Coming to the end of that second sector now. Passing Max on track to do so. Does not improve in his second sector, but he does have a subsector that is purple. So it's a little inconsistent for Norris. But it's a 25.9, which is that's fast. Don't get me wrong, that's a fast second sector. Norris is going to come to the line right now. And he's going to take the fastest third sector and the top of the charts, the 114.897. That's 0.181 thousandths difference between him and Norris, making Norris and Max, I should say. Norris P1, Max P2 now. Max is currently in the pits. We'll see what he probably has one more program left to do. We'll see if it's a quality level. Colapino just went to P12. He's 1.3 off the pace. Gasly to P11. He's 1.1 off the pace. Oscar goes to P17, 1.5 off the pace. Bierman to P11, 1.047 off the pace. Yeah, as you can see that from P10 down, they're over a second behind the time that Norris has put. Lonzo just went to P9, so that pushes that Antonelli to P11. He's coming out of the pits now. Oscar just went to P3. He's 3.76 off of his teammate's time, and he's on a soft tire. Sainz has the odd. His last lap was on a medium tire. Isaac right now P5. His best lap was a 1:15.508. We have a yellow flag. Why though? and that's going to resolve back to green. So someone went off track and came back on. We'll get a replay at a moment. So one of the looks like one of you guys said that one of the Ferraris went off track. So that's 11 minutes ago in this session. This is FP3 again. When we're in again, we come to the end of the session. We're gonna those of you on YouTube, you'll be brought to the uh, quali session, and it should be about 2.5 hours. Check check the time correctly. Yeah, 2.5 hours after FP3. It'll be 2.5 hours. We should be back live in 2 hours time with the stream starting, and then I'll be back 15 to 10 minutes before the session starts. Just looking at right now. Galaxy would be Jake Dennis and Pascal Werline. I have no who Pascal is. Yeah, I have a doubt that those are the two drivers. And now I just jumped to P4, 115.399. So they're all on soft tires at this point at the end of the session. And that was on a new soft tire for Antonelli. So it looks like they've let Kimi finally cook and do a flying lap. H, I'll miss qualifying with you. Daughter graduating from university this morning. Maybe I'll watch during the ceremony. I don't blame you for watching during the ceremony. Bring earbuds. Do yourself a favor, bring earbuds. But yeah, no, congratulations to your daughter graduating from university. I'm a professor, so last night was our school's graduation ceremony. Largest class graduating in that session, so it was quite a while. You know what's going on? Again, I want to thank everyone who's shown up. Again, several thousand of you have shown up on YouTube as usual. So a few growing number on Twitch. If you're listening to us on another platform, thank you for being with us and listening. Hulkenberg just went to P16. He's 1.3 off the gap right now. Borrello does P15. He's 1.1 off the off the pace right now. And if you haven't had a chance to like on YouTube, now's a great time to do it. If you subscribe and hit the bell, you'll get notifications when we go live. We go live for every session. So on YouTube, you'll get a notification when we go live. With Twitch, basically, you'll get a notification just by virtue of being on Twitch. So, guys, what site do you use? Well, we're using an application called Multiviewer to help display the graphics you're seeing here. We do have a website. It is racingstatisticsf1.com. And the boss has been doing a lot of work, doing a lot of data analysis. Like one of the charts that he'll do for FP3 is ideal lap times. versus their best lap time. So best lap time is what we see on the board right now. But the ideal lap time is basically taking their best sector times, sector one, sector two, sector three times, and making a theoretical lap based on that. And that has some interesting. That gets really interesting because there is a lot of variance between like their best actual time. Like sometimes their best lap is their ideal time. If that's Max does a full purple lap, that is the ideal lap. Um, but you'll see some people have a really good make a good lap, but their ideal when you put their sectors, their best sectors from different laps together. There's like a couple tenths that they had performed in that in those zones. So that's one of the things that he's been updating lately. We also have a Patreon. Hey boss, do you have a Patreon command? But he is also now working on a new Patreon. Just launched that this week. Looking to get more support from you guys from just beyond being on YouTube or being on Twitch. There's more things that he's looking to do. Got Hamilton moving up to 10th right now, 115.787, 0.89 off of the laps that Norris and Max have done. Oscar just going up pure 1/10 behind his teammate, 114.997. Got 4 minutes 50 seconds to go in this session, so we're under 5 minutes now. Let's see if anyone's cooking at the moment. No one's really cooking. So a lot of yellow on the board. That's a lot of people who are going around doing other strategies. Max is about to come out of the pits. Isaac just finished a lap, and that was 9 tenths off of Norris's best time. Doesn't improve. Doesn't improve. He actually is 3 tenths off of his best time. We might see someone go around. Right now, if they're on track right now, they have a chance to go around and potentially be on track to do a flying lap at the very end of the session. So we'll keep an eye on that as the session is coming to a close. No one. Lawson had did a spin earlier, brought a yellow flag, but not a red flag. So my streak of red flags from yesterday is going to end this session at this moment. You never know. This is the moment where we got red flags in both of those sessions, so we'll see. So they're slow. No, they're 7th and 10th. They're not that bad. Granted that Williams are ahead of them, 5th and 9th. Mercedes is 4th and 8th. The Red Bull has got wild variance. Max is 3rd, and Yuki is 17th. McLaren is showing off P1, P2. Seventeen is disappointing. Yeah, it is pretty disappointing. He should be performing better. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what reports say about why there's a big variance between him and Max. Doesn't mean that he couldn't perform better in quali. So President Wozniak has dinosaurs for Max Verstappen. That's cool. I haven't seen those emojis before. We've got Borello coming out, Hamilton, Albin coming out, Norris is coming out. I doubt that they're gonna go. They might hit line before Colapino and Sonoda, but I don't see them picking up speed. No improvement in time. Isaac's coming out of the pits, so at this point, I don't see anyone pushing. Leclerc had a improvement in sector one. He's actually going pretty fast in sector two. Look how he comes across the line. Quick moves up to P5. That was our lone wolf of a flying lap, it looks like. He does 115.451. He's 0.5 off over just over half a second. Gasly not making an improvement so far. He's going better in sector three. He improves his time, but not his position. And we've got 35 seconds left to go. So those who are coming out of the pits are being able to do so to go around to do practice starts. Max is the only one to challenge McLaren's. That seems to be the case, and you'd expect like the Ferraris, you expect the Mercedes, particularly Russell, to make a go at it as well. Russell is fourth in the constructors, still technically in the hunt for that championship with the McLarens and Max. So, and we have taken the checkered flag. I believe Isaac is the first one. If it's not, it'll be Yuki the first one. Yeah, Isaac was the first one to take the flag. So I see no one. Norris, sorta, not really. Not really pushing it. Has improved in sector one, sector two. He's not improving in sector three. So he would be the last one to basically potentially have done something on track. So that is bringing us to the end of FP3. We will be back in 2 hours. We'll stream some music as we usually do for quali, and then I will be back before quali. Quali's in 2.5 hours. We start streaming about half hour or so before the session. This is why you should hit the bell, because we could go 45 minutes to sometimes up to maybe 15 minutes before a session. So most of the time it's about half an hour is the average when we start streaming. So that's why you should hit the bell and subscribe on YouTube. Again, if you're on Twitch, you just need to follow, and you'll get those notifications. I want to thank everyone who showed up. Again, for the race statistics, it's been FP3. I mean, the one big thing is that we saw Isaac jump to the top of the board. Ends up being P7. Williams looking good. Science 6th, Albin 9th, Mercedes 4th and 5th. Max comes up 3rd. Ferrari comes up 5th and 10th. And then we saw a dominance by McLaren 1-2. I'll talk more about the tires in quali. We got more information about what we suspect they are doing. The short answer is that the tires are legal, the brakes are legal, the brake decks are legal. So we'll talk more about that in during quali. I'll be doing quali, Nathan. All right, so for everyone here at Race Statistics, it's been Grash, again, bringing you coverage for FP3. I'm going to take off right now. I'll see you again for quali. Take care, everyone. See you soon.